Hey, this is Neil's on Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Buy some silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium because it's sound advice, not financial. Yeah, I'm looking at myself, so I'm doing my hair, pulling a ninja here. Buy some silver, some platinum. Be kind, helpful, and grateful because it's better than being a jerk. And my phone just went dead, so I got to reopen it up because that's where my report was. Here it is. Nanonuclear Energy signs Memorandum of Understanding with the U.S. Department of Energy Idaho Operations Office to evaluate Idaho National Laboratories facilities for potentially sitting construction and operation of its proprietary portable, hey, what's up, C4, microreactors. This is New York, December 4th, 2024, Globe Newswire. Nanonuclear, a leading vertically integrated advanced nuclear technology company developing proprietary portable and clean energy solutions, is pleased to announce the signing of a memorandum of understanding with the United States Department of Energy Idaho Operations. The MOU sets a framework for the collaboration between Nanonuclear and the DOE. That's big news because you've got the regulators now working with Nano instead of against, like they do for the larger ones. That's why we haven't had any large nuclear reactors built. They've all been put on hold because of regulators. This right here says they're working hand in hand with each other. So the government wants this to happen, which means it's probably going to go forward at record pace. Let's see. The MOU sets a framework collaboration between the DOE and nanotechnologies, feasibility of setting, construction, administration, operating, and the decommissioning of the company's Zeus and Odin experimental microreactors at the Idaho National Laboratory, one of the foremost research sites for nuclear science and technology in the United States of America. I thought it was Lawrence Livermore Labs in California. My bad. Through this MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, Nanonuclear will work with the DOE and Battelle Energy Alliance LC, current operator of the INL, to progress the development, sitting, and eventual testing of Nanonuclear's innovative microreactor designs of the Zeus and Odin microreactors. The designs to deliver clean portable power solutions for remote and industrial applications. That means companies that are going to have problems. What's up, Emilian? Or Carlos, excuse me. Silos. Energy security climate objectives. Collaborative activities for test reactor development. The Memorandum of Understanding outlines several core activities such as evaluations, support of nuclear regulatory commissions. That's the one that's been giving everyone problems with getting nuclear pushed forward. They're actually working with them. Let's see here. Activities develop national and operational security plans, including hazardous material management. Nanonuclear and the DOE will collaborate, keyword, collaborate. That means it's going to probably be successful. The government's backing them. To access the sustainability of INL's infrastructure and secure appropriate land use agreements for supporting the experimental reactors, focusing on the site selection, feasibility studies, and thorough security and emergency planning. Each party will be responsible for its own cost and as specified in the MOU. Partnering with the DOE and the Idaho National Laboratories in this initiative underscores the commitment to developing advanced nuclear technologies to meet the highest standards for safety and environmental stewardship, said J.U., founder and chairman of Nanonuclear Energy. We are honored to collaborate, keyword, collaborate with the government, the Department of Energy, the ones that shut down nuclear, they're collaborating with. We're honored to collaborate with the DOE and recognize our goal of developing portable clean energy solutions, particularly at the Zeus and Odin microreactors, move closer to demonstration and eventual deployment. There we go. That's the news report I wanted to bring you guys. Short but sweet. Also, there's one here, I don't believe it's on China, supposedly finding like a quadrillion pounds of gold up underneath their feet all of a sudden. Yeah, right. So I'm not doing that story. I think it's bull crap. But that's the story for today. What's up, Independent? Indy? It was short but sweet. This just came out. The Department of Energy is collaborating with nano nuclear energy to move forward at a fast pace micro nuclear reactors. That means the government is. So sorry, Neil, but I have to move. Yeah. No problem, a million, man. I appreciate you stopping by. There ain't no mandatory. I appreciate it, bro. If you just stop and hit like and leave, that's cool too. No big deal. But that shows that the government, the Department of Energy, is collaborating with this micro nuclear reactor company, Nano Nuclear Energy. That's going to make them successful. That and the next administration coming in is going to cut regulations. It says every new one, he's going to cut like 100 or 10 or something like that. It's even going to fast pace this. So this is not financial advice. This is not investment advice. But from what I just read to you, I'm going to invest because they're fast tracking it. The government is approved by this collaboration with Nano Nuclear Energy. The government, the Department of Energy, the Regulating Commission are hand and kumbaya with nano nuclear. So they're going to be successful because the government wants them to be successful. The next administration is going to cut regulations, fast tracking every bit of the operation that I just read to you, which means that nano nuclear, I believe, is around 24 right now. It'll probably be like 240 in a couple of years. That's not financial advice. That's just me. Oh, right. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, you'll see it all. It's nano nuclear is got this seal of approval from all regulatory nuclear agencies of the American government. They're at the best nuclear testing site in Idaho, and they are working with the Idaho Department of Energy to secure a finished working model of the micro reactor so that they can deploy it out for sale. So in other words, small towns will be able to buy it and get off the grid. This goes back to me saying about a year ago, about 9 months ago, when I said by 2030, energy prices would be 70 to 75% cheaper than they are now. I was right, because micro nuclear means that the car manufacturer that doesn't want to be affected by energy prices is going to buy a micro nuclear reactor and sell its extra electricity that it makes while powering its whole plant, not having to be boggled down with fluctuating electricity supplies. 80 of these things have already been sold in Central and Eastern Europe. 80 of them. That means 80 10,000 person towns, 80 or 800,000 houses of electricity just got taken off the grid in Central and Eastern Europe because 80 of these microreactors were used, most of them for companies, manufacturers that cannot move and see the writing on the wall. There's going to be energy problems in Central and Eastern and Western Europe. So they're buying these reactors so they're unaffected by these power fluctuations and prices and energy war. And again, as far as energy war goes, Saudi Arabia not joining BRICS guarantees that BRICS does not have they have very little control over the energy and power sectors of the planet's operations, any of it. Saudi Arabia is the biggest player in the energy producing world in OPEC, and they told BRICS, nah, we don't want to join. And I knew that was going to happen because we made Saudi Arabia when we gave them the technology and we bought the oil and we created the world that runs off of the oil. Go back in history, folks. We own everything. Another thing, back in history, after World War II, we, America, are the only country on this planet that rebuilds countries that we defeat in battles. We don't occupy them. Japan is not West Hawaii, and Italy and Germany are not East and South Texas. They're their own countries. What we did is we allowed those countries and the rest of Europe and Asia to tariff our products so they could grow their economies. Takes about a century to recover if you do it that way. Never been done before. America's the first country in history to ever try it. So we allowed them to tax. That's why ask yourself this question. If you ever go to Australia, where are the Fords and Chevy cars and the American products? Taxes and tariffs don't allow it, but we have their products here. Patriot Camper, along with other things they sell here. Now go to Japan. You see the Toyota, the Subaru, the Datsun come to America. You see all the same cars. Where are the Fords and Chevys? Now you go to Europe. You see the Porsches, the VWs, the Audis. They're for sale here in America too. Where are the Fords and Chevys and Pontiacs in Europe? Taxes and tariffs prevented them from going there. So America has been living under being taxed and tariffed by every country that we defeated in war for 80 years, 90 years. It's time for that to end. Canada makes $100 billion off of tariffing American products. We don't tariff theirs. Get with the program. The world's changing. We're not going to be kumbaya, all one world. We're going back to nationalism. That means 80 years of fleecing America out the door. We're going to start kicking back. What that's going to do? That's going to make America great. It's the writing's on the wall. It's been written 80, 90 years ago when we allowed these people to tax and tariff us and us not do that to them. We grow our economy, be the greatest economy in the world without allowing our products into other countries. How great are we? Yeah. Think about it now when you start learning a little bit more about the history of how big we've grown as an economy while allowing other countries for over 80 years to tariff our products and not allow our products in their countries. So cry about us tariffing them. Our whole lives, every one of you in this chat, your whole life, you've lived with taxes and tariffs other countries have put on our products, stumbling our economic growth and development. Our government decided to grow the economy through government agency growth. That's why we have 250 agencies and all these expanded. All that's going to, it's all inverting. It's all changing. It's going to be more fair. We're going to lower the government people, get rid of a lot of these agencies that we don't need, and we're going to start taxing, tariffing these countries back. As Trump told Trudeau, if $100 billion a year for a couple 20 years isn't enough for you to get your country off its feet, maybe we should make you the 51st state. Every one of you here knows that I've said we need to annex Canada. Had you voted for me for president, I would have taken the same steps as Donald Trump, just to let you know how good I would have been as the president. Neil Hahn, president, 2028. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anyhow, if you look at history, you will see. No, it's not blaming Canada. Canada shot themselves in the foot. They've got rid of all of their mining. They have zero gold in reserves. They've set themselves up to be annexed by America. It's going to happen. And the reason why it's going to happen is for the prosperity of America in 100 years, because a treaty, an agreement was signed by the world. The reason why we haven't had a war over the Antarctic North Pole as to who owns the land is because we've already got it separated. If you look at the treaties that were involved in separating that land so that we don't have a war over it, what they did is the corresponding countries that have land adjacent to the Arctic get a pie-shaped wedge from the edge of their corner of their country's property to the edge of the corner of their property up to the North Pole, a wedge. They own that much of the Arctic. All the way around Russia, Canada, Iceland. Why do you think Trump wanted to buy Iceland? Because Iceland is owned by Denmark. Denmark owns 20% of the Arctic. 30% of the natural resources that are left untouched on this planet, Holland owns. You're going to be wealthy as fuck. As you learn stuff about history, you can see more clearly which direction we're going. America has about 15% of the Arctic because we have Alaska. Excuse me. If we take Canada, we'll have 50% of the Arctic, and that'll make America the wealthiest country in the nation for the next 200 to 300 years. Screw every one of you people out there that say America's going away. You don't have a clue what's going on. You're running around like chickens with your heads cut off because of your lack of knowledge of what's going on. It didn't start 40 years ago. It didn't start 60 years ago. It started before World War II, during World War II, and after World War II. All these things are combined have led us to where we are. And treaties, that's why I've said this before. New treaties and trade agreements are going to be the future charts. because we're going to start taxing and tariffing these countries that have been taxing and tariffing us for 80, 90 years. We're going to return the favor and grow our country and our economy. Why do you think we told Germany to suck eggs if they couldn't pay their NATO bill? Hey, you don't pay your NATO bill, we're not going to defend you. You just live up to your agreements. See, they haven't been living up to their agreements for 90 years, 80 years. All we're doing is force them to live up their agreements and end them, because the time has come to end the fleecing of America. That's what's happening, folks. You are so used to being fleeced by every country on the planet, and you still think you're wealthy. Imagine how wealthy you could be if we didn't allow them to fleece us for 90 years. If we didn't allow Canada to get an extra $100 billion a year in tariffs off of American products that we pay the price for. You say, oh, prices are going to go up if we get taxed at tariffs. No, they'll go down because we're going to be doing the taxing and tariffing. Right now, we're the ones being taxed and tariffed by every other country. So how could us taxing and tariffing them make it worse? It makes it worse for them because they've had a free ride and they're used to it in their whole lives. They've had a free ride because they've been able to tax and tariff America. What's up, Jeffro? Because they've been allowed to tax and tariff America, and we have not taxed and tariffed them. So now we have someone coming in who's following McKinsey. If you research history, 1880s, 1890s, McKinsey, president, yeah, he was assassinated, but he used tariffs very successfully and made America wealthier than it ever has been in the history of America. Dollar for dollar time period, inflation, all this other stuff added. Our country wasn't as big. You got to take in size and all that stuff. But back in the 1890s, 1880s, around that time, McKinsey or McKinley? Don't quote me. It's McKinley or McKinsey. I think it's McKinsey, but I'm not sure. He used taxes and tariffs on other countries so effectively. Our country got out of it. The Industrial Revolution of the 1890s that made us what we are today through the tariffs. If you know history far enough back and you're not too liberal in your mindset of, oh, I'm only going to stop at this age of history, because if I stop right here and go, it makes me right. Fuck that shit. Go all the way back and see what you're missing. This countries aren't made in a day. Worlds, the only one that makes worlds in a week is God. The rest of us take hundreds of years because we're mortal and we're imperfect and we're corrupt. But if you look at the last 100 years, and they even gave us a tell, the 100-year, 80-year, and 50-year economic cycles are coming to an end. The 100-year economic cycle is the fleecing of America through taxes and tariffs, along with other things that go along with that. When they said this, it was 2020, 2021. So yeah, the 1918 pandemic, Spanish flu, everyone wore masks. 100 years later, COVID, everyone wore masks. And the same economic shit happened afterwards. If you go back in history, you can see it happen. And don't go back 50 years, go back. If you hear them say, hey, 100-year cycle, go back 120 years and look at it. And by the way, go back 100 years and look at the platinum to gold ratio, the platinum to silver ratio. And now look at the platinum to gold ratio and the platinum silver ratio. And you'll want to buy yourself some platinum. That's just sound advice. That's historic advice. It's just go learn some history on it. And you'll see, it'll be like, it's never been so cheap in history. I should buy some. It's more precious than gold and silver. But anyhow. Yeah, the Roaring 20s is what we're getting next, Jeffro. Sorry, I haven't been reading chat. I went on a little rant there. McKinley, thank you, Independent Minnie. It was McKinley or McKinsey. We had both. And when I get on my rants, my brain just goes too fast and I miss key. I don't miss them. I just don't state them. It goes through my mind. It doesn't come out my mouth. Stuck at manipulation station. Thank you, Jeffro. Yes, it is. And I've stated that before. And it's China, BRICS, and the Belt Road Initiative that's fucked South Africa. That's why South Africa went from one of the richest GDPs, as Andy Schechtman says, in Africa to it doesn't have a GDP, because you can't have a GDP if your country only has power for half the day. As a matter of fact, what happens when your country only has power for half the day? You become the murder capital of the world and kill 27,000 people annually. Enough so that you have 3.5 million. Largest industry in South Africa, security. It's not mining. It's not car manufacturing. It's security, because everybody who has money doesn't want to die. So they hire security. That's what GDP gets you in South Africa that Andy Schectman says is so great. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. Hey, what's up? Hey, how is your back? It looks like you're scratching it there, or you're patting yourself on the back. Carlos, you haven't started your own channel and got 1,000 subscribers yet, have you, Carlos? I'll tell Ninja if you had. He'll do a live stream on you, I'm sure. But yeah, so, you got to look through history to see things, and you'll get a better perspective of what's going to happen. That's why typically I'm right when I say shit on videos, because I don't like being wrong. I don't like looking like a dumbass, and I do my research. And it doesn't go back just to the point where I'm right, because once I get to the point where if I do my research, it's, oh, I'm right, I'm like, oh shit, Neil, that's a trap. Go back further, see why it made you right. And you go back further and you find out, oh, well, that happened and that caused that to happen, which made me right, which means I'm not right if I had said that, because the causality of what caused that to happen came before that. And whatever they did before that caused this to happen, where I wanted to stop history to make me right. And if you do that, you're going to lose a lot of money. You're going to be broke. And I just don't want you people to be broke. Hey, what's up, Finn? But yeah, that's all. I just I wanted to give you guys that. Basically, if you go back to the beginning, watch nanotechnology or nano nuclear is working hand in fist with the federal regulatory Department of Energy in Idaho at their #1 nuclear testing facility, and the government regulators are working hand in hand with nanonuclear technology to push forward aggressively as fast as possible the micronuclear reactor. That's not an investment thing, but I don't know, man. Anytime, what's up, Quadrillion? Anytime the government is working hand in fist with someone, look what happened to Tesla. Look what happened to SpaceX. The government worked hand to fist with them. They're kumbaya parts of the government. We all know the regulatory agency is stopping SpaceX, but that's like politically motivated bullshit. But any company that works hand in fist with regulators, nanonuclear is working hand in fist with the regulators. By the time they get a working model, if you invest right now, you're going to be very wealthy. That's just sound advice and historical. Would you have invested in Tesla if you knew the government was going to throw $10 billion at them to make them successful? Everyone would have. Would you have done the same for SpaceX? Everyone would have. Well, now it's nanonuclear. Be everyone. You have your chance right now before everyone else gets in it. Before everyone else gets in it. Because everyone's going to jump in it. Because nanonuclear, and it's 11:30 Pacific Standard Time, Wednesday, 12/4/24. Nanonuclear technology will be a huge success like Tesla and SpaceX. You heard it here first, and I will stand by that statement in 5 years. When we go back and you watch this, and it'll be 2029, you'll be like, holy cow, man, they've sold 10,000 nuclear reactors here in America alone. 10,000. Yeah, easy. Invest in them now. Not financial advice, sound advice. Sorry, I got to take a break. Brain's going too fast. Smoking pot really doesn't get me high. It just slows my brain down enough to where I'm not as crazy. Because I'm working on my gems too. Cutting them down. I'm not going to show you, but got a lot of things going on. Anyhow, I'm going to be working on another video with Ian Everand of Arc Silver and Osmium. We're going to be doing an update, Osmium 102, all you need to know, all the updates and whatnot. It's going to be a video. It's not going to be live. It's going to be specific, so that way I can lead people just to that video and there's no bullshit talk like we're doing right now after I give the news that I wanted to give, because that tends to throw people off. They want to hear the news, and then we go into bullshit and talking about chat stuff. The news is past. I already gave the news about nanonuclear energy, working with the Department of Energy hand in fist. They're going to be wealthy. Whoever invests in them, you're going to be wealthy. Bottom line. I'm just telling you, I can't invest in them. I don't have the money. And if I did have the money, I'm going in a different direction right now. And I can't take advantage of this opportunity. And it is one hell of an opportunity. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you get the news out front and then you bullshit. You talk about the news. Jeffrey wants to talk about uranium. I can lead you back to a video I did that was taken down by YouTube, and I lost 40 viewing hours. It was about recycling of the uranium, plutonium 238, and how France recycles 90% of their uranium and keeps reusing it, reusing it, and reusing it, and we stick all ours in Yucca Mountain. Going back to another time where I said I see a future where the biggest amount of money in the world is going to be in who has the uranium, because the uranium is going to power the next energy, free energy of the world. And the two biggest winners, Russia and America. The same two that are winners now. Trust me, America and Russia are going to be the big winners. 2022, you'll be like, damn, man, America's still the greatest and Russia's still behind them. Yeah, because Rome was around for 2,000 years. America's only been around for 300. Yeah, we didn't fast track our destruction. That's just idiots who don't know history telling you, oh, Rome and America are the same. We're falling. No, we're not. Chapter 2, bitch. Chapter 2. It's a 12-chapter book. It's going to go for about 1,000 to 2,000 years, same as Rome did. 2,000 years, not 300. So you're about 80% off. And after knowing that, then you should look and say, oh, wow, okay, so if America's not falling apart, this is all planned. What's the next act look like? Okay, so we need to advance the whole world economically, because we're not in the 14th century anymore. Gold is a good thing. Silver is a good thing. But in a nation, in a worldwide thing, we didn't have that in the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th century. It started in the 20th century, the latter half of the 20th century. Even then, wasn't that big for worldwide. Now we're in the 21st century. A lot of new technologies coming out. Things are changing. Our economics is going to have to change dramatically, totally. It probably will involve precious metals, but not to the point that it used to. Because if we're going to expand into moon bases, asteroid mining, scientific Deep Space Nine type crap, you can't pay those people with cash and gold. So there is, again, we're evolving into towards a 1.0 society. You also have to keep that in mind with economics. We're not going to stay at a 0.8 society for eternity. We are working constantly to advance to a 1.0 society. 1.0 society doesn't value the economy the way we value economics now. The mindset of people have to change. If you realize that you can get a general direction of which way the economy is going to go to prosper from. But if you believe that we're going to stay with, oh, gold, it's all going to be gold, it's going to be silver. No, it will be for probably about 100 years. After that, it's like I'm telling you about a new Bitcoin that hasn't even come out yet. That's what I'm talking about, because there will be a change. Start a Rumble channel for the juicy stuff, Neil. Yeah, I'm not too hip on Rumble, man. And anyhow, I'm not. I actually see Rumble as a fucking jail, because freedom of speech still isn't out there. If they're allowing you to give freedom of speech, it's all recorded. You start. Here you go. Here's what I think about Rumble. If you watch the congressional hearings on the nominations of judges to different positions, they go back to their social media. And they say, oh, well, in 2012, you said this. Do you still mean that? So if you want to be something in your life, watch what you say on a recorded anything, because it will be used against you if you want to be something someday. And intelligence and wisdom should kick in and tell you saying personal rants right now to make yourself feel good, not prosperous long term. That's kind of sort of what got us in the problem we're at now. Hillary Clinton wanted a feeling of power, and she fucked everything up for all of us. Feelings. Independent Mini and myself go round and round. Keep feelings out of law and order. Your feelings are personal. Keep them inside yourself, because everyone has feelings. And as soon as you put your feeling out there and expect everyone not to step on it, then everyone has the right to put their feelings out there and not get stepped on. Now what we've done is we de-evolved back from the important shit to the personal feeling shit. When has government ever cared about personal feelings? Keep them out. Independent Mini, from my understanding, has a different feeling about that. I have feelings too. I would love for you people to tell me my feelings matter and you'll do exactly as I feel. But I've been here for 56 years and the only thing my feelings have got is stepped on and no one give a fuck about them. So why should I care about anyone else's being when it comes involving laws? Because if you don't care about my feelings, I don't care about yours when it comes to a law. Because laws go beyond feelings. There's no feeling in law. There's right, there's wrong, justice and criminality. And the storyline that got you there. There's where you have your jury and your judge and a select amount of wiggle room for prosecution. There's no feelings. Feelings get you Floyd. Oh, well, he was such an angel. And then they put up a little 3-year-old picture with a halo over his head. No, actually, he was a fentanyl fanatic who just stuck a freaking gun at some pregnant lady's belly and said he was going to kill the unborn child. And he was drugged up on fentanyl. But you bought the story that the news told you, the feelings. Oh, the poor mama and the white cop had his throat, fucking a knee on his throat. Natural common procedure when you have a fucking drug addicted freak who's freaking out on you. Oh, and by the way, the other 4 officers of the 5, only one of them was white. The other 4 were black. And yet the white guy lost his job. All because of people's feelings. His whole family, his children got fucked with. Now you come out and you research the facts and the truth and you find out that white cop got fucking railroaded because of people's feelings. His family got affected. His kids couldn't go to the private school if they even could ahead of time. See, so feelings fuck people's lives because facts have to come first. Because you can see 2 people in a shootout. Boom! One of them gets shot. And oh my God, there's a murderer. And then you come to find out, well, the guy who got shot just raped the other guy's 2-year-old daughter. Is he a murderer now? Or is he a dad with self-defense? Yeah, your feelings just changed, didn't it? Based off of the facts of the case. So if your feelings can change off of facts, don't bring your feelings into the making of laws which are factual. That's my stance. Yeah, okay. That's why I'm independent. You should get up on panels so we can have a little debate and work out differences. Because in typing, this is why I hate typing, you never get the meaning clearly stated, nor can you type nearly as fast as the person can talk. So you're always going to be on the defensive. So the person who's on video will always have the upper hand on you. That's just bottom line. And then you'll look like a fool still making a debate on a different subject in chat while they've moved on to another subject. And it's real easy to make people look stupid. That's why I like people that have come up and talk. Joe Rogan style. Come up, talk. Let's talk about it. What do you want to talk about? Whatever. I'll debate. We'll talk. We'll come to a conclusion on right, wrong, of this, that, whatever. But bring your research papers. I don't like that there's too many laws. I don't like that we don't take laws off the books. We only put them on the books. Every one of us is a felon. Every single one of us. You know, in one county in Pennsylvania, for example, if your car goes by a horse and the horse whinnies, legally, you have to stop your car, back it up, disassemble it, cover it up, and allow that horse to cross the road or by the car without it being upset. It's still a law in the books. There's a law in the books somewhere in Ohio. If an acorn falls on your head on Sunday, you get arrested. There's so many damn laws that don't belong because we're a nation of laws. Yeah. If we were really a nation of laws, this whole room here would be filled up with the paperwork of laws, and I would be drowning in trying to figure out every freaking law before I go outside because I'll break one of them because there's 50,000, 500,000 of them all over there. It's a tangled mess. There you go. See what I'm saying? It's illegal to have an ice cream cone in your back pocket in Kentucky. What the fuck is that law doing? Why did they waste money on gathering the people up to pay them their salary to come up with that law? You want to know where the waste is? Right on, Carlos. I appreciate it, brother. But anyhow, I wanted to keep this about 30 minutes. I wanted to give the news on nanotechnology. I know I just did one earlier about a week ago on them, but this is new information just came out to reiterate nano micronuclear is working hand in hand with the Federal Department of Energy regulators. The same regulators that are stopping SpaceX from doing further launches because they don't like him are working hand in hand with nano micronuclear because that's the technology of the future. That's why energy prices will be 70% cheaper by 2030 because there's going to be so many micronuclear reactors out there, and those towns and cities and factories will not need your local power station. The grid will go away because it will not be needed. The money cost you pay to keep that grid up will go away because it will not be needed. The security of the grid being taken down by foreign agents will not be there because it won't be needed. We're moving into a new future. The government is basically just stated from what I just read, they want micro nuclear reactors all across this country. That's why they're working hand in fist with them. I'm glad you can comment here. I don't block anybody. Only YouTube would do that. No, I did block one guy. He came in, and supposedly he was an influencer, but he came in here drunk. And I'm sorry. I was raised by alcoholics. I don't see where I don't give a fuck who you are. You have no right to project my childhood back on me, my terrible childhood of living with alcoholics on my channel. You're going to do that to me? Nah, you're out of here. I don't care. You could be Trump. I'd still block you if you do that crap. Because it's destructive. Alcohol, being drunk and going in public with attitude is very destructive on every level, from a psychological peace mind, kumbaya level to quite possibly physical level. So I have blocked one person. I didn't mean to mislead you guys. I do block people that will cause problems. And I've only had to block one, so it's all good. Hey, what's up, Tom? Oh, yeah. I found out the reason why I haven't got a strike in a couple of 9 months. YouTube is actually, they're not giving me strikes. They're giving me not copyright infringement thingies. They just they come in, and I found it last night, and they'll take down my video, just delete it. And all the viewing hours, because I was wondering, I had 2,300 viewing hours and it dropped down to 2,250. I was like, what the hell? So I could start searching, what's up, ER? And I found out they just took down one of my videos and gave a reason, and that was it. Can't do shit. I don't even have the video to be able to protest it. So they're trying a new way of censorship. They're continuing to allow me to talk. So I can say COVID, ivermectin, and hydroxychloroquine, and I won't get a strike. But this show, because I mentioned those words, will probably get deleted in about a month, and I'll lose all the viewing hours. And that's how they're censoring. And that's why I still have, well, actually I have less viewing hours now than I did a month ago, and I've done more videos. Woo, America. The people that are running in these freaking companies, they definitely change the perspective of the society by not allowing people to view honest, truthful information, or even perspectives of honest and truthful information. The information could be honest and true, and then you give your perspective on that information. It's still viable. Not believable by everyone, but still viable because it's your perspective on that truthful and honest information. And they don't like my view. So they keep taking my videos and deleting them, and I lose my viewing hours are going like this, and my videos are going in the opposite direction. I got 1,200 videos, and my viewing hours are going down. I can hardly wait. I hope Elon buys them, so that way maybe I can be monetized one day. Not that I didn't start this channel to be monetized, but I kind of was expecting after 3 years to have made it there. But yeah, whatever. It's not anyone's fault but YouTube. So freedom of speech is still out there. It's just out there temporarily till they delete it. Yeah, Jay, I've been shadow banned big time. My shit doesn't get shared out, because they're always pulling. I guess I'm on the bad boy list. I'm on the redheaded stepchild list. Yeah, you know, and like I said, I didn't do it for money. Every now and then I like actually poking fun at Ninja, but it's more fun when he's on a live stream. Actually, Amelia, you might catch this every now and then. I do some stuff like when he says hashtag word, I'll do ampersand or whatever that thing is. I'll throw that out instead of that, and every now and then I'll get Ninja to laugh on live stream, and I have fun with him. Like I try and get him to laugh on live stream. So I don't just moderate chat and tell people to buy silver, platinum, and crystallized osmium. I also go there because I like making him laugh on live stream because I know he's paying attention to what I say. That's how he and I get, rib each other. It's through his channel. I've only had him on my channel once. Hey, Carlos, yeah, maybe you should mention to him since he's getting busier. I'm gonna hit him up to come on one of my lives. Anytime, I'll talk to him about it. Nah, I'll talk to him. You don't have to talk to him because I only was doing Sundays, and that's his only real day with family. And the busier he gets, the less time he has. But he does have time when he's at airports and shit, and I can do a random live and hook up with him and do a Joe Rogan style interview type live stream with Ninja. I've been trying to get Chris Marcus on to do that, but he's busy too. Yeah, talks to text, man. That could really throw off a conversation. It misinterprets a word you say, and this conversation went from Disney World to what do you mean you're going to hell? Or something crazy. Yeah, they got a lot of work to do on AI and human interaction. I still see videos, and I can tell when it's an AI speaking because the way they speak, I can imagine the type that it's being told to read. It'll have like a 400, and then it'll have a $sign, and then have billions. And a human, when reading it, would say, "Oh, $400 billion." But an AI, when reading it, would say $400 billion. Those small things like that you can recognize if it's an AI computer doing the video or not. And there's other English speech nuances that humans have that the computer hasn't picked up on that you can pick up on just by being a human. You should be able to pick up on it. Be like, what? That's not how people speak. It's because it's not a person. It's an AI computer. There's this one show. It's a Star Wars show, and I love it. It's a good show. It's a fantasy show. It's about Star Wars ships and the breakdowns, everything about them. I like watching that kind of stuff. And he puts out like hour-long videos on like the TIE fighter, total breakdown. And I can tell the guy what he did is he sat down on his computer and told the AI computer to come up with an hour-long program with every breakdown, every part of the TIE fighter, and give visualizations. And then the computer goes to work. And I could tell that's what he did by the way the computer talks. It's not him talking because it's not talking like a normal human. If you'd watch that whole 1 hour show on TIE fighters, for example, there'd be like 3 or 4 different areas of speech in that 1 hour program where it's a computer reading like a text to talk computer style. It's not human voice. It's more like text to vocalization, I guess. And it doesn't work out right. It doesn't come out right like a normal human speaking. Like when I read the report at the beginning of the report, there was one sentence in there that I read backwards because I read like three lines ahead of where I'm speaking. My brain goes fast. And that's why I have to jump back every now and then and make sure I got it right. And sometimes I naturally, like they'll phrase it one way and I'll read through and I'll say it another way, giving the exact same meaning, but in a different English, different words with the exact same meaning. And that's how humans talk. that will change up like that. And again, if you see a $400 sign in billion, we'll say, 400 billion, because we know. But a computer AI will be like a $400 sign billion, because it reads every segment, $400 sign billion, to where human would be, 400 billion. And we change it, what we visually see in a reading, with our vocalization, because we understand the nuance of the language, where the AI doesn't. And if you're an adept at the nuances of the English language, you can tell when the computer's talking to you, or when it's computer on the TV or your computer or whatever. Yes, be kind, helpful, and grateful, because it's better than being a jerk. But carry a big stick, because there are jerks out there and you might need to fend them off. That part I never say. Yeah, I'm actually, once I get some cash in, I'm going to come up with a product line on my channel that'll be available for buy. That'll have the saying, be kind, helpful, grateful. And then one that says buy silver, platinum, crystallized osmium. And then one that says be the best you can be today. Yeah. And yeah, I tried a little, Jeffro, I tried learning a little Mandarin. And that might be where my brain kind of stuck on a quirk or two of their style of their language and their reading, which is totally different than ours. And my brain might have like just taken part of their pathway. I don't know. They also read them from bottom up, I believe, from right to left, bottom up. So they also read upside. Well, I guess you could say upside down, or not only backwards, but upside down. No, pictographs would be last people well, hold on. The Korean, it all depends. The Koreans use, because I learned a little bit of Korean. I was learning Korean, how to write. And like some of their words are descriptive. Like schoolhouse is actually 2 lines up, line underneath with, it looks kind of like a schoolhouse. So if that's your meaning of do they use pictures, there are certain languages that in their writing, their words kind of sort of resemble what the word says, because in that, like the Korean language, school, a fucking 5-6 letter word, is depicted by one symbol with 2 of these, and then 1 of these. So, and it looks like a house or a school. So in that sense, we have modern day picture language to a point. Beyond that, it would be the hieroglyphics, and they're finding in South America and Brazil and down in the rainforest area, they're finding New Mexico, Arizona, around the Grand Canyon, the Indians, they are finding American Indian artwork, not just a buffalo, but kind of sort of hieroglyphic style. So I don't know the age of that stuff, but that would, along with hieroglyphics in Egypt, that would also be another picture language, but I don't know how old it is. Who stole the cookies from the cookie jar? I used to sing that to my best friend's little daughter when she was born. Her mom had a post-traumatic stress. No, what is it? It's after your pregnancy. It's where you don't want to have anything to do with a kid for a while. Brain fart. There's a word when mothers have the children and they don't want to see them for a while. There's this a psychological term. My buddy Rick's wife had that happen on their first child. And Access Humble, what's up? And I had to step in because he worked obviously, and she took off up to her parents' house in Tennessee. And it was me and Rick raised his daughter for the first like 6-7 weeks of her life. We took turns, me and mom and dad, till his wife got over her postpartum depression. That's it, postpartum depression. Till she got over her postpartum depression. then she came back, but anyhow, Aurora is the girl's name. She's like 20. No, she's 30 something now. She's got her own kids. Yeah, she threw up on. That was the first one she threw up on. She was like 4 weeks old. It's kind of disgusting, but yeah, cute little kid. So I just cleaned it up, took a shower, and drove on. Ooh, access. I don't know if you like this. I haven't trimmed it. Of course, I haven't trimmed it. But I will right before I smoke it. Yeah, man. Fucking colors. The colors and the smells that come out of kids from birth to 4 months. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's alien. It's freaking alien, dude. I swear to God. There is no smell or look that I've seen, and I was a medic in a war. And there I didn't see, I mean, I saw stuff, but I mean, I was expected. But what comes out of those little kids up to 4 months, man, the colors and the smells are, oh my God. It's like a chemical factory, and they're spewing out all the excess. It naturally makes you laugh. Obviously, it makes me naturally laugh, but it's freaking freaky, dude. I don't know how my parents handled it. Well, yeah, I do. I handled it, and it wasn't even my kid, so it's just natural, imprinted into the human brain to deal with that weirdness and find it to be cute and okay and part of life. But it's weird, in my opinion. But I did it, so it's got to be normal, I guess. But if you think about it, growing body, things changing, yeah, there's going to, oh God, woo! I'd rather not think about it. Am I cutting gemstones? I am waiting for some more wheels to come in. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. See the bottom part, how it's not level? I cut with my hand. I didn't use the machine. That's why this bottom part here is at like an angle. But I'm going to trim, if I don't lose it, this amethyst, which is a beautiful amethyst. So that's actually the top part right there. That flat part's the top. Damn. And then that's the bottom. It's now also flat like the top. But I'm going to cut probably 16th, 30 seconds more off of this. So that way, when you look through it, you'll be able to see, and then I'll put the crystallized osmium. You see my finger, how it kind of like, you see a little bit of it. I've got to polish, I've got to finish grinding this, and I got a wheel coming that'll be able to polish it and make it look clear to where you can see through it, just like the top part's clear and smooth and shit. This one's here is a little rough still. So I've got some work to do on it. But yeah, I am cutting them, and man, are they gorgeous. Gems are gorgeous. I don't know, you guys just can't see the yeah, you can. It's not, see all that glitter? Ding, 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 all that color and shit. These things are awesome, dude. And then I got a little, no, this is real little. I'll have to put it up here. Little Alexandriatite. It's like eighth of a carat. I got 12 of these. But yeah, I'm cutting on them. And actually, since Independence here, Indy's here, these are the ones, Indy. If you're still here, yep, you're here. Those are the ones I'm going to be cutting, sending to you. They are about 5.3 carat amethyst. You see that? Ooh, beautiful. And I'm going to cut those, and there's going to be a square of osmium, 2 millimeter square of osmium, and there's either going to be gold or silver on the bottom side, holding it all back, all in. And then you'll have this gem. It'll have osmium and gold underneath it with the little hooks on the gem, and you'll be able to hold it like a gem and set it in anything. Man, these things are gorgeous. I don't know if you guys can see the glitter off of that. Ah! Cats, come take my shit. Okay, I'm putting them away. I'm not in a position to be doing this right now. I'm going to lose one of these suckers. And that'd be upsetting. Oh, yeah. And this one here, that's a topaz. Look at all that greens and purples, blues. Yeah. I got a new style of jewelry going to be coming out next year. Never done before. And you guys, Indy's already got some coming to her because I opened my mouth and said I'd give her some. Like a dumbass. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding, Indy. Yeah, these cats, man, they've, I had one of these nasal inhalers. We're sitting like right here. Fucking wake up in the morning. I still ain't found that son of a bitch. I know one of the cats came up on this desk and played with it, and it's around here somewhere. When I move, I'll probably find it. I'll be like, there it is. I lost that 2 years ago. Damn cats. Yeah. Yeah, turn off all fans and get all cats out of the room when working with crystallized osmium, 2 millimeter squares. Oh my God, those things will fly in the wind. And then the cats, just imagine that little sparkly thing. Oh my God, it's on. And then you got 8 cats wanting to play with it. Yeah, it's under somewhere, exactly. You know what, Jethro? When this right here. Okay, I broke this off that big bud. If I take this leaf here, you know, to mold the bud, if I throw something around, cats will eat it. And yes, I threw it on the ground intentionally because the cats are a lot calmer after they eat the weed. No, now when it was growing, when I had 4 dogs out there, I had 2 dogs that would eat the weed. That's why I had to fence it in, and I had to really do a good job because Cookie Monsters, my blue nose pit, she would actually dig up underneath my temporary fence, and I'd find her every morning sleeping underneath the damn weed trees with it. Yeah, they were my dogs were the ones that ate the weed trees on the outside. On the inside, it's the cats. But all animals love weed. Yeah, she was sleeping like a baby. There was one time she had some stomach issue or something, so I actually gave her some of my weed in her food. I got her overstoned, and for like 24 hours, she was kind of like wobbly, and like her front feet would move 2 or 3 steps, and her back feet wouldn't, and she'd be in a lay down position. She'd just roll over and fall asleep. It was totally unintentional, but still funny as hell. It was funny. Yeah, she was stoned. She enjoyed it. Oh, she was having a great time. I could tell by the grunts, I guess, the snorts that pit bulls give. They have a certain sound that you know they're feeling, and she was having a good time, just rolling around, and I could tell she was stoned. Dude, other than the hair follicle test, I can pass any drug test they have. The mouth swab, the urine test. Like I said, the hair follicle test I can't pass. But I've got ways to pass all of them because I've been a union iron worker for 30 years. And they drug test us a lot. They drug test us a lot. And I'll go tomorrow and I'll take it later. Fuck, give me a mouth swab right now. And I'll pass it. And yeah, that's weed I just blew out. And then I'll stick that mouth swab in and I'll pass it. Because I got, well, these right here. But what works better are these right here. You take one of these. And I have these on me at all times. Listerine, those strips. It's gone. It's dissolved. It's all up underneath my tongue now because I didn't swallow. I take the swab and your mouth reacts like right now with this stingy, spicy, whatever it is of the Listerine strip. Your mouth reacts and shoots out lacriment for whatever is in your mouth at the time. It shoots out, what's up, Chad? It shoots out different chemicals. And right now, like my tongue's kind of got that burning Listerine thing to it. So I'm lacrimating. So when you take those swabs and stick them in your mouth and you're lacrimating because of something you put in your mouth, it's not giving the test subject thing that you stick in your mouth with a swab the natural juices that are in your mouth that will determine if you have weed or amphetamines in your system, because you're overloading the swab with the extra lacriment from the Listerine. And I've passed many a mouth swab test doing it that way. And then I'll walk outside, say, yeah, I passed. Yeah, they drug test us. They drug test us a lot. I've also smoked on federal prisons I've built, because as a decker, you bend over, you put your welding hood up. I'd have my welding hood on. You have to bend over, and you're right over the weld, so all the smoke comes up. It's galvanized too. You get galvanized poisoning a lot. I've had galvanized poisoning quite a bit. And so you start smoking, pull this out your pocket, stick it up underneath your welding hood. Because no one wants to look at a welder when they're welding. You get flash burn, your eyes are fucked for days. So people intentionally don't look at you, and you got lots of smoke coming up. And I'll be on that job site. There'll be a federal prison smoking pot, and they won't even know, because the smell of the smoke and the heat of the smoke as you release the marijuana smoke from your lungs, it's not as hot as the smoke coming up from the weld that you're making, and all that heat dissipates. It takes the smell and the aroma of the weed up with the smoke, the hotter smoke of the weld, and then it gets dispersed at a higher level above the like the second atmosphere, 10, 15 foot, and then it starts dispersing. So it doesn't spread like a normal, when you smoke, like while I'm smoking here and I blow out, it disperses sideways. There's a lot of science to it. You got to be smart to be able to get away with it. Let's see. People do all kinds of shit in Humboldt to try. It really, yeah. Well, again, you got to be smart. I also have out in my car, I've got synthetic urine, which is the typical job site. I've passed many drug tests. Oh, you have a spot piss test, and you have it in your lunchbox. You stick it here, it warms up. You give them the synthetic piss. Boom, good to go. Yeah, I've been in it for a while and learned from the best, buddy. And I'm still here, and I got busted one time for marijuana, and the dumbasses made me go to Alcoholics Anonymous. It's like, dude, you motherfuckers, I was smoking pot. Now you're making me want to drink, because I'm around all these guys that are complaining about drinking. I'm like, all I'm here for is because I smoked weed, dude. I don't care about your alcoholic problems. But fuck, I'll join you. Dumbasses. Or my union's dumb. Yeah, probation. Ooh, boy, howdy. Yeah, and they're probably looking specifically for amphetamines on that one. In which case, it's 3 days. Those things are out of your system. Just fuck amphetamines, man. Fuck them things. They're not worth it. But then again, you're talking to a guy who's hyperactive and has a mania and hyperactive brain system, and I have to smoke weed to slow down, and I'm still fast. So, As you can tell, the amphetamines never worked for me. I'm naturally fucking... See, that shit's fucked up, man. That's a chasing your tail shit, man. Crystal meth. It's chasing your tail. You'll never get the same as the first hit. It's a fact. This right here, I get different kind of stone depending on what type of weed I grow, and I can determine that by whatever I want to grow. And if I don't like it, I can crossbreed it and get the exact kind of high I want, and all naturally. It takes a little while to develop the plant, but I've had a while and I've developed my plant. So much so, I know you can't see them. I got them wrapped up like this because I don't want to lose them. But I got about 1,000 feminized seeds. It's about $12,000 in female seeds. Of blueberry muffin. All feminized, 100% guaranteed feminized seeds of blueberry muffin. And I got some huckleberry. This one I developed 2 years ago. Got some of those seeds in there. And yes, they sell feminized seeds. Matter of fact, Axel's Humboldt Unincorporated. You can tell me how much they sell feminized seeds for. What, $10, $15 a seed? And half the seeds you get from them aren't feminized because they're dumbasses that don't know how to feminize seeds. Rush to make money and skip steps. I guarantee it. Yeah, so $10 a seed. I got 1,000 seeds. It's $10,000. No, 100 seeds. 1,000. Yeah, $10,000 worth. Yeah, and if I wanted next year, I could feminize these. My next crop, I just whatever. I could go to a freaking shop and get a clone of some like sour diesel, and force one of them to go mail and feminize it and get a couple thousand seeds and $10 a seed. Making money. I don't sell them, but I mean, there's money in everything, and it doesn't cost me anything to do it. And I create money. When will it'll be ending next year? We can say that pretty much confidently that you will see it. You will be able to tell it's ending next year. And the reason why I can say that is because Clean Air Metals, a Canadian company, located the largest platinum vein ever discovered on the planet in Thunder Bay, Canada. And they stated, and I did a video on it, it's Clean Air Metals. They stated that, what's up, Shadowworks? They stated they were not going to mine till the price of platinum went up because it wasn't financially viable for them to mine. And then you look at South Africa, and their mines are about 2,200 meters underground. Costs a lot of money to get things down a mile and pull it up. Oxygen, men, equipment, or you have to pull it up a mile from underground. Costs a lot of money. Well, Thunder Bay, Canada, Clean Air Metals, their vein starts at 500 yards under the ground. And they stated, again, and I did a video on this, that they were not going to mine until the price of platinum got up. And then about a month later, they put out another video that I did a video on, stating that by this summer, they'll have the open pit dug 400 meters deep to the first top of that ore vein. And they're going to do a bulk sample to get actual amounts, which means after that, they're going to be mining. So if they're taking it to the step where they're going to remove 400 yards of earth over this platinum vein in an open pit mine so they can get the trucks down to the top of the vein, then they're going to build a structure to rock mine. If they're taking it to that point, that means they're confident the price of platinum's going up. And that's why I'm confident the price of platinum's going up, because they stated they would not open that mine until platinum started getting back to normal pricing. Normal pricing is twice that of gold. In other words, right now, if platinum was not manipulated, no one would buy it because it would be about $5,000 to $6,000 an ounce. But at $1,000 an ounce, Why isn't everyone buying it? Oh, because you don't know about platinum. Andy Scheckmans and them, they didn't know about platinum until I started talking about it to them. And even now, you got lots of guys won't talk about platinum for some reason. I know for a fact there's two pretty big shows. I'm not going to say their names. They won't discuss platinum. All they do, they told me, they said, well, we don't really know about it other than it's manipulated and we don't want to talk about it. And that's all they got out of them. And they got YouTube shows with like 100 some odd thousand fucking subscribers. So yeah, mum's the word pretty much on that. But basically, I don't shut up. It's China. China manipulated the price of platinum back in 2011 when 2012, I think China talked South Africa into joining BRICS and signing for the One Belt Road Initiative. And if you look at the charts, March 2011, platinum was $2,070. Gold was $900. How much has gold gone up? It was $900. Now what, $2,500? Platinum was $2,200. Now what is it? $1,000? When the fucking history has that ever happened? Never. Go back 150-year chart, you'll never see platinum less than twice the price of gold. That's why the 1 ounce platinum American Eagle has $100 on it. And the 1 ounce gold Eagle has $50 on it. So obviously it's not America that's manipulating the price. It's China and BRICS. And if you look at it, China had to buy 2.5 million ounces of platinum this year. Do you think they wanted to buy it at $6,000 or $1,000? Yeah, they're controlling the price. Exactly, Jay. And the reason why that manipulation's ending is because South Africa's going bankrupt. Impala Mines is going bankrupt. I'll say it. First one say it. They're going bankrupt. They've already sold their Tanzanian platinum mine and another mine they had in, I think up in Montana, actually. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Yeah, then they've they were taking voluntary layoffs, and they, what else did they do? They downsized the amount of platinum ore they're pulling out of the ground. They decreased the amount by 20% when the demand this year, and this is this year, beginning of the year, they in two different times, they decreased their production. That's it. They just decreased their production. And this year, there was supposed to have been a 700 million ounce supply of platinum, and there's only 6 million, not 600, 6 million. There's supposed to have been 7 million ounces mined according to the Platinum Council, and only 6 million was mined. And of that 6 million, China bought half of it. And the reason why China bought half of it, and only reason China bought half of it, is to manufacture hybrid hydrogen engines for 10 different car companies throughout the world. All of them ordering a hybrid engine that requires platinum, which means it'll be a hydrogen style engine because it requires platinum. That's why I've been telling people for years to buy platinum, because I've seen this coming. The only reason the price of platinum's not gone up is because China has to buy it, and they don't want to buy it at 6,000. They want to buy it at 1,000. It's the classic business move, except for it's a government. That's how China runs shit. That's why we're going to kick them out of our stock market. That's why our stock market's going to crash, because we're going to kick Chinese companies out of our stock market. It's writing on the wall. It hasn't happened yet. It will. I said so. And I only said so because I know the people that said so. And they said so. So, things that everyone's used to crypto. Oh, they said so. Damn, it hasn't happened yet? But they said so 3 seconds ago. Yeah, not how it works. They said so. Within a year or two, it'll happen. People are on the, it hasn't happened yet mindset, and they're not worth it. So if you got that mindset, change it. You're fucked up. things don't go, the real shit doesn't happen that quick. No, Chinese companies getting kicked out. And it should have been, they should have never been allowed to buy land in America. No Chinese company. Because see, the thing about China, their companies are owned by the Communist Party. They're not private entities. What it is it's a communist government that creates businesses and sticks someone in the lead. And then they go out in the world and they spread that Communist Chinese Party company into other countries so they can manipulate their economies and take them over economically. That's how China works, the CCP. We're finally getting people in office that are able to do something about it, figured it out, whatever. But that's what's happened. And all the land that China, it's a rerun of the 80s. If you were alive and old enough to have watched TV and the news in the 80s when, oh, Japan and Sony and Toshiba are buying up all of America. They own 90% of Hawaii and they own all of the technology and they're buying everything. And Americans were selling the shit to them. And then all of a sudden they had a problem. They had to sell it all back at 10 cents on the dollar. And the same Americans that made all that money bought it back at 90% discount. It's called growing an economy, worldwide economy. Instead of using individual states as Ponzi's to grow the economy, we use other countries. We use Japan. We're using China right now. They're investing shitloads. You know how many, if anyone wants to Google it, how much money, land ownership China owns of American land, it's all fixing to get taken away and they won't be able to do shit. Because it's our soil. And they're communist government, not company. And a communist government is illegal to buy our land. But see, the Chinese covered that up by calling their corporations separate entities, when in reality they are not. Every piece of information any Chinese company has belongs to the Communist Party. It belongs to the government, which means they're government spies, if you look at it properly. And now you'll see how all of our technology gets stolen. Yeah, go to a conference run by a Chinese American company. And if your fucking server ever gets wiped and you don't know why, all your information was just stolen. Happens all the time. It's going to end. They don't talk about it in the news. A lot of things they don't talk about, so you don't know they happen. So you have a different, swayed perception of the reality of things. And a lot of people have a swayed perception that's improper to reality of what is actually going on. That's where I come in. You can call me the idiot with the conspiracies until they come true. Then you can say, fuck, Neil knew what he was talking about. Oh, Jeffro, speaking of, I did not do a video on this. I chose not to. I should have. Mali, one of the Sahel nations, the poorest nation on the planet, just paid off all its national debt. What? They broke away from the ECOWAS, France, and Europe's control and joined fucking Burkina Faso and Niger in a Sahel nation front, economic front, and political front and military front to secure their nations. And they were able to pay off their national debt. Shouldn't that have made news? The poorest nation on the planet was able to afford to pay off its national debt. All I heard was crickets. It seems like me and about 12 other people in the world are the only ones talking about that one. And the significance of that, highly relevant. What's up, Harley? That's Trouble, aka Trouble, right there. That's the face of Trouble. What's happening worldwide is you got to ask yourself this first off. It's going to affect everything, but it's going to affect BRICS too, because the Sahel nation states, Jay, they're going to take the GDP of South Africa and shove it up South Africa's butt, and they're going to take it because those three nations combined make more silver and gold than South Africa. And actually, I've already gone on my rant about South Africa. South Africa doesn't have any power for 50% of the day. They're trash. They're fixing to lose their platinum. They're going to be mined out. They're not going to have any more. What do they have? Diamonds are starting to be devalued because we're seeing the manipulation of that. So they have diamonds and platinum. Ooh, both are going away. Yeah, okay, not going away for platinum for diamonds, but decreasing in value and need and want. They're just losing their luster. So the market share of diamonds, which makes South Africa, the GDP, Indy Sheckman's GDP of South Africa. Charts are past tense. In 5 years, you're going to look at a chart of South Africa and say, holy shit, they did lose all their GDP. Neil was right. So let me get back to Jay, finish up. I went on a rant without answering your question. Our African nations, financial independence. Okay, what's going to happen? Ghana, Senegal, and one other country is looking to break away from the ECOWAS and join solid nation states. And if what happens, what I think is going to happen happens, it'll take a while, a couple of years. That whole western swath of South Africa that used to be ECOWAS will probably break off and come up with their own independent, separate from BRICS nations, separate from America, but you're using both. But yeah, because they have to, you're going to have to. You can't just stick to it. The BRICS is going to be around. They're going to fail, but another thing will come around, or they'll partially fail to fix it. It'll come back. What's happening long term is we're breaking down from a global monetary system for which we will still have, and the dollar still will be dominant in. It's just it's losing some of its dominance in the structure reform of the world economy. The oil petrodollar was supposed to end, unless you feel as though Saudi Arabia had 500 million years of oil up underneath their sand. It's going to get drilled out 100 years. So the petrodollar had a limited lifespan. So let's see. I'm going to build a house. It's going to have a limited lifespan. That's it. I'm only going to do that. So it's going to die after 100 years. We're all going to go to hell. Is that how the world leaders do things? That's how we think they do them. That's why we're all poor. That's not how they do things. They say, okay, we're going to do this. It'll last 100 years. It'll morph. We're going to find out some information on how society grows, and we'll be able to control this, that, the other, and make it morph into something else that we'll already control and we'll move them into. The gold-backed dollar. They knew before they got rid of the gold that they were going to get rid of the gold, and that was going to change the dollar. They all already knew that, because the economy of the world at that point in time after World War II had grown to a point where we had to change over to a credit-based system, a more unilateral world system. To do that, America had to sacrifice a lot, which no one gives a fuck about. We're all pieces of shit here in America. We're just deserve what we get, whatever. And everyone forgets that they've been using us to make their money for 100 years, 80 years. So, hey, we're bad boys on the block. We're horrible. We're the world dominant leaders. You know why we're the world dominant leader and we're the world reserve currency? Because if you take the world reserve currency out of the US dollar, then we get to tax and tariff you back to make it fair, because you've been taxing and tariffing us. Canada, $100 billion a year. Every 10 years, they tax and tariff America by $1 trillion. So if we stop that, in 100 years, we'd have an extra $10 trillion. Oh, no, let's just give it to Canada. It's fair and equal for them to fuck us and us not fuck them. And let's ride off of that as the level playing field. So now the level playing field is America's getting fucked to keep you flying as a country. And that's the norm. And we're going to start the game there. No. That's the 9th inning, baby. We're changing games, because the game started off before World War II of everyone taxed and tariffed everyone to grow their own countries. And then we went to war. And instead of America taking you over and dominating you like every country in history, we decided to try something new and rebuild your economy and allow you to tax and tariff us for a certain amount of time, not for forever. That's why Trump knows this. That's why he told Trudeau what he told him. That's why he told the Germans about NATO. He said, hey, if you're not going to pay your own, we're not going to cover your ass. We're not going to spend our money. We've been covering your ass for 80 years. And you haven't even gotten to the point where you can pay your 2% because you're still taking advantage of us. But let's start off at a level playing field where everyone takes advantage of us, and that's normal. I'm sorry, that's stupid. And most Americans have that stupid mindset because we were born and lived our whole lives on that being the level playing field. That's not the level playing field. The playing field was for 100 years. We were born halfway through it. It's coming to an end and changing. Just like the dollar went off 53 years ago with the gold. It's going to go back to some, they knew it was never going to go back to gold base. And that's why they got rid of the gold, to change the whole world economy to where we weren't based off of just gold, because there's not enough gold to base the economy of the whole world off of. You have to change it up to something else. If you study economies throughout the world, and I've done videos on this, glass beads in the Phoenician time period, the 1700s, glass beads were more valuable and used as money. Glass beads. I just did a show 2500 BC throughout Central and Western and Eastern Europe. They've discovered these hoards. Hoards are treasure hoards of brass nodules, this long, dots on each end, and also horseshoe shaped, about that big. All throughout Europe, hordes of this stuff. For over 25 years, they've been trying to figure out what. And finally, they admitted, oh, it was money. Before we even had money. It was money before we had a civilization capable of having money. They were using these copper rods as money. Money. Okay, that's 4,500 years ago. Gold was used as money for 5,000 years. But we've been lied to. Our history actually now shows that, yeah, so was copper. Actually, it was used quite a bit, more so than gold. So things change. We just have to accept they're changing right now. How hard is that? The sun's actually going down. It's changing. The world's spinning a little differently because the seasons are changing. Things change. Economies change. 100 years ago, we didn't have the technology to know what was going on in Japan by me just Googling, hey, give me a live feed of the Tokyo's fucking downtown, and I can get a live feed of Tokyo's downtown. Did we have that 100 years ago? Then why should we have the same economy? Are you getting the point? So we're going to change the economy. It's changing now. We're going to change the dollar. The dollar is going to go away. It's going to die. It's going to be forever gone. Hold on, wait. The new one will be here. Just like in 1971, the dollar died. Well, what the fuck are we using now? Oh, the dollar. It's just backed by something else. All planned. All planned in an evolution of an economic cycle changing to a 1.0 society. That's where you got to know more than just economics. You need to know social economics and developmental social economics to see where a society is going. Because what you have right now is first grade crap. Do you want to be in the first grade lunchroom when you're a senior in high school? Hell no. I want to be in the senior section. Okay, we got to evolve. We got to evolve our economies. It's evolving. Figure it out. Put it together. Become a billionaire. It's that easy. Quit denying whatever it is you're denying to realize that we're living in a changing world. We're all content and complacent. Someone's got control over you if you're content and complacent. But content and complacency bring happiness. Yeah, sure do. So does a lot of other things. They're just a little harder to get to, but they're a lot more rewarding. So if you want to be content and complacent, maybe that's why I don't have a lot of subscribers. So I don't want content and complacent people. I want people that are like, wow, this guy's making some sense here. Maybe I should look at that for my families. I want maybe my granddaughter, who's not even born yet, will be able to get married at Winchester Castle because she's so damn wealthy because of what I'm doing right now. Do you think like that? Or do you just think about wanting your Lamborghini right now at the expense of your granddaughter? So expectations for your own self should be limited as far as luxuries and self-entitlements, and put a little sacrifice in, because in sacrificing, instead of going to the private island vacation when you make your millions in Fiji, you just go out to your backyard and you save that $500,000 and you invest it in something. It's called being frugal. Be like Uncle Duck, Uncle Donald Duck, Scrooge McDuck. Not that bad, but get yourself that pile of gold for the future. Jeffrey keeps it. Sorry, I have not been looking at chat. First thing I saw is people are easily amused. Teach the cats some tricks. Yeah, I ain't got time for that. I like their personalities the way they are, and they're very discerning personality differences between each and every one of those cats, and it is humorous as hell. Very, very amusing. Yeah, they're pretty good at that. They're also good at sleeping on my bed, which I have Harley, Gandalf, and Ginger, my original first three. And if you learn about psychology of cats, if they sleep with you or on your bed, they love you. Very much so, except for I can dominate the cats, so I can't dominate people. So it's a lot nicer living environment here with cats over people, because you saw they're comfortably sleeping. They're not hurting for anything, and supposedly they don't get along if you have that many. Scrooge McDuck, yes sir. You gotta be Scroogey. Tell your kids, no, you're not getting those new toys for Christmas, because those new toys are only to make me feel good about giving you something that you're going to throw away in 2 months and not appreciate. That's not what Christmas is about. That's because I'm a bad parent. I didn't teach you what Christmas was about. I just told you it was about getting what you wanted. Oh, to hell no. That is so anti-Christmas, but we accept it. Okay. Used to be you give something that you made that was special. You do something special. Now it's just, hey, let's hit Toys R Us and get him some fucking tutu cans and some poo-poo paste. He'll eat the poo-poo paste and throw away the tutu cans in a month and cry about not having any toys, and we'll get him some more toys. Oh, fuck. Teach them differently. It's a proven fact through studies that if you force chores on the kids and make them do them to where they do them, to where you don't have to force them, they just do them, they turn out to be better parents and better adults. Responsibility. Teach kids responsibility. Oh, yes, of course you have to teach your kids differently. Every child is different. I mean, fuck, look at me. If you saw my brother, you'd be like, damn, these two are like night and day. Yeah, we are. But our parents treat us like I was him. Mistake. So yeah, don't treat your kids the same. And matter of fact, if your kids say, oh, you love them more than me, well, today I do. Fuck with them. Make them go, what? Well, you got to work harder to make me love you more. Well, that's a psychological turnaround on a kid asking you which one's the favorite. You know, fuck with them back. Yeah, you know, parents buy shit. That's why, you know, I saw it coming with McDonald's put in their first playground. I was like, holy fuck. There goes the family. This mom ain't going to cook if she can, and dad's not going to cook if he can take you to McDonald's and throw you in the fucking playland and you shut up for fucking half hour and give them some peace, because that's all they care about. They don't care about raising you. They don't. It's complacency and convenience is what they want. They earned it. They went to war for it. Or someone did. I did. I don't have no kids, so you guys enjoy the complacency. I paid for it. You're paying for it with taxes. I also got screwed for fighting for it, and you're also getting screwed by paying taxes for it. Wake up. The flip side of the coin. It's called realism. The side that they're feeding you is complacency. It's so easy to control people who are complacent. So easy to steal stuff from them too. What is the saying? Complacency kills. Just like fear. Fear kills. Oh, I'm scared. I don't want to go in there. It's a dark mine. Okay, let me in there. Hey, look, I found 10,000 ounces of gold. It's mine. You were too scared. You didn't come in. Finders keepers. Put the door up. Stay on the outside. It's my 10,000 ounces. Ooh, patriotic. Now, that is true, because patriotism is a feeling. And they want you to feel good about them stealing from you. So it worked. That's the problem. Because we ain't supposed to be paying 30% of our fucking income to the tax man. Out here, they say, perfect example out here in California. Oh, we're going to have a $500 trillion deficit. Okay. Quit spending on trans. Quit spending on fucking social development of the trans mosquito in China. Quit all this stupid shit. And just quit it. And wow, our budget would be fixed by not spending quadrillions on all the stupid shit that they forced down our throats. I never voted for a damn bit of it. Jeffro, this is very interesting. Back in the late 80s, I worked for a place called, what was it called? Something Rex Appliance. Rex TV and Appliance, I think, or something like that. Pretty big warehouse. I won't tell you what I did there, but I in the defective products area, they threw away old TVs, computers, VCRs, and shit like that. And I had a friend who was in the electronics and computer field, and he was like 2 years older than me. He was like 17 at the time, 18. I was like 16. I'd bring him these old computers and shit, and he'd disassemble and take apart the motherboards, strip the motherboards so he could reuse them, check all the components, all the capacitors, resistors, transistors, if they were good or not. He'd put them until he got this whole shit. Long story short, he built a robot with lasers in his attic with the trash that I brought him. I was 16, he was 18. So, yeah, you can make a lot of things with discarded electronics. If you have half a brain and some initiative and aren't complacent. It's a little bit of hard work, a little bit of thinking. It's well worth it. The rewards, it's worth it. Reap what you sow. Complacency makes you sow a lot less. Familiarity. Moving is a good thing. Like Mary, Indy did. Moving, it causes you to learn, adapt, adjust, all things that are natural in life and help you enjoy life, experience new things, not be complacent. Yeah, someone else post Mindy's Independent Minnie's channel. Don't make her do all the work, guys. All you people are freaking mods. Start posting your shows. No reason to retract anything you say unless you just don't want someone else to see it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm 56, guys. Boom. You can't see it, but you can tell there's a little knobby there. Let me pull this back. Oh, no, knobby. I need to work on that. No, there's a little knobby there. Actually, what you want to see is that one right there. Forearm. Boom. 56 years old. I have an 8-pack. I can do flips. I can climb trees. I'm flexible. Fuck, I can probably... I couldn't kick this roof. I could do a jumping kick and kick the roof. I couldn't do a standing kick. I'd be about 4 inches short. But I can kick over my head. I'm flexible. Can't do side kicks more than my hip height. I've never been flexible splits wise. Front wise, I am, but splits wise this way, I'm not that flexible. I can pop the shoulder. Flexible. You got to stay flexible. You got to stay limber. You got to be able to fucking lift, pull, push your own body weight. Always. I don't think I've seen that one, Jeffro. Better Off Dead. No, I haven't seen that one, I don't think. But yeah, I always stay in shape. Like right now, sitting. You could do things like this. I'm still sitting, but actually, you take the chair away, I really wasn't sitting. I was using my thigh muscles to keep me 2 inches above the seat. And when I get tired, I just sit back down. So it's like this, and then like this. You can do that shit at work. So people think you're weird, but you're going to have a better body and be in better shape than them for being weird. What you actually are doing is you're being frugal. You're doing 2 or 3 things at once, where they're limited in their intellect to only be able to do one. Let's see that move I just made? Now I'm using my thighs because I'm no longer using the seat, and I can still type. Or I could be like this. Just that action there, and I'm doing my thigh workout. You can stay in shape. You just have to want to. You have to use the gray matter. God gave you a whole bunch of talent, baby. Use it. Anyhow, this has been going a lot longer than I wanted it to go, but I don't care, obviously. But I'm glad I got this out on the nanonuclear, and I do suggest that everyone look into nanonuclear, because never before in the history of America has the Nuclear Regulatory Agency worked with a company that wanted to build nuclear shit. Never have they done that. They are now. Is that an indicator of success? I don't know. But if you don't have that, it's an indicator of failure. So it might be worth looking into. Yes. Thank you very much, Independent Mini. Thank you, Jeffro, Shadow, everybody, Jeffro, everybody for being here. I do appreciate it. But yes, I am going to end this now because everyone's got a life except for me. Just kidding. I got a life too. It's just a boring one. And I got to put this down so I can see where that little thingy is. There we go. Because I'm on my computer. My computer's right here. But I'm seeing myself on my TV, which I'm actually touching right now behind the computer. So I have to put the computer screen down to see where the off button is. Yes, and C4. Thank you. Sorry, I missed you. Yes, a talent used to be a skill. I suggest everyone learn a skill. One, at least, that's worth something to someone else. Think about it. You can do it. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. Use your gray matter. Think about it. There's a lot of stuff out there you can do. See what's good for you and what you feel good with. Be kind, helpful, grateful, because it's better than being a jerk. Buy some silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium, because that's sound advice, and it's better than not having any. Have a good day, folks.